'82, I was 17, my old man was 55. If you do the math between the two of us, that's 72 years of life. An eternity, so it seemed to me. How could anything live that long? Now I say my folks were only 84 the year that they passed on. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be. And my grandpa Roy, when he was a boy in 1904, he was taught by men who fought in the actual Civil War. And only 8 decades passed, and my high school class put the tassels on the other side. Started on our way full of naivete on the great American ride. The months and years slide past, each more quickly than the last. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see 100 years ain't what it used to be. Oh, got it!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Johnny, hey! Oh, yeah!
He did the guitar face.
Ibuprofen's under buy again in my online shopping cart. Every week I learn of something else I should be doing for my heart. If I use the wrong pillow, I might have trouble getting out of bed. My hair grows in my ears and nose now more than on my head. As a kid, to me, ancient history was something like World War I. But I arrived closer to that time than this year as I sing this song. And I'm starting to find I can wrap my mind around life is brief and dear. I can hardly believe my baby girl's turned 26 this year. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see everybody 100 years ain't what it used to be. Before you know it, you're 63, making plans for Medicare A and B. You look around yourself and you see.
Please.
Are
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic episode number 1759, April 16, 2026. 88 degrees, the record high on this day. That was in 1964. And it was as chilly as 10 degrees on this day in 1875. Minnetonka had ice outs on this day.
really?
In 1890, 1900, 1906, 1960, and 2002. And White Bear went out on this day in 1971. The 3 next days, April 17, 18, and 19, feature your most ice outs. Call Josh Arnold at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Haidt in the newsroom, and of course, the Rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Souchere.
Permission to approach the bench?
We haven't even started yet.
Well, you just spurred something. Are we going to be close to an opener tomorrow?
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Supposed to drop.
66 tomorrow.
Of all your interruptions, that was a pretty good one.
no, I thought Ken Barlow said 70, dropping to 50 in the afternoon.
Thank you, Kenny, because
Tomorrow?
I saw
Yeah.
Kenny's forecast, too. That's what made me think of it.
Yeah.
Well, all we can do is keep an eye on it.
But what are the new rules? I know I ask this every year in the
70
podcast.
when we're on the air.
When we are on the air.
Yeah, which,
So if it
which
hits-
is odd because it's a podcast, so somebody
Is-
could be listening to it.
Is
We're
there
always
a,
on the air.
is there a close enough number, Joe?
We
What
can't
about
play,
the close
we
enough
don't
number?
play that game.
enough.
This
68.
isn't close enough. This
68,
Isn't, you don't
close
get an award
enough.
for self-esteem.
Are we going to do a show here or what?
The Somali community of Minnesota is thanking us for remembering that yesterday was tax day.
Hey,
Thank you very much.
We gotta
cheap.
we gotta thank Kelsey for that one because that was courtesy of the Babylon. They're Kenny,
Well,
the
Babylon
photo.
Bee had it yesterday where it said the Somali community of Minnesota would like to remind America that today is tax day.
And it's three guys and they're standing in front of the Quality Leering Center. The photo is.
John, we're turning to John Haidt. This news is breaking noonish on today, April 16th. John, what do you have?
The U.S. Senate has officially voted to lift the 20-year federal ban on mining near the Boundary Waters Canoe area, BWCA, now sending it to President Trump's desk for final approval. The vote, 50 yes, 49 no. House Republicans approved the resolution in March, despite warnings from conservationists that the proposed mining would cause pollution in the giant wild area. It would clear the way for a Chilean company to extract precious metals from the region's forests, lakes, and bogs. If President Trump signs the resolution, projects such as the Twin Metals copper-nickel mine could proceed. Future administrations would be blocked from reinstating the ban. This was introduced by Republican Congressman Pete Stauber, who represents northeastern Minnesota. He called the Biden-era restrictions near the Boundary Waters illegal.
We were talking about this before the show started, and our sensibilities are. We just don't know where our sensibilities are. That's one of the most gorgeous areas in the country.
Let me read about what sulfide ore copper mining is, Joe, just so we know. Unlike iron mining, sulfide ore copper mining has never been done in Minnesota. This type of mining generates waste rock full of sulfates, which, when exposed to air and water, becomes sulfuric acid and leaches toxins like heavy metals into the surrounding water. This destructive industry should not be allowed in the headwaters of the Boundary Waters. Obviously, I'm reading from a very slanted website. It's called SaveTheBoundaryWaters.org. So consider the source when you hear me saying that stuff.
And I don't know a great deal about mining, and I don't even know who to have on about mining.
We did have a Chilean miner on the show years
gosh,
ago.
no, I wish we had the gas guy. Would probably know. I can't remember his name, and we don't have his contact.
He was
info.
good, wasn't he?
He was really good.
Okay, there's a number of observations. Number one, I might feel differently if it at least was an American company. It's not. It's a Chilean consortium of investors. Number two, as Kenny said, what he read from was very slanted. I'm sure we're going to be promised that every possible step will be taken to mitigate any damage. I don't know that that's a consolation to the people more invested in the Boundary Waters than I am, but I'm invested in the sense that it is a gorgeous, gorgeous area, and it would be criminal to have it polluted. And so when we wrestle with where our sensibilities lie, what we discover is that nickel will be mined, copper will be mined. What else? You looked at
Sulfide,
cobalt.
Plutonium, palladium, gold, and silver. But what is the difference between sulfide ores, copper, and regular? Why do we not do sulfide ores, but just regular copper?
And those mining processes are all very different. I mean, you can't mine silver and gold out of the same hole, can you? With the same sluice box and all that shit?
Well, we might have to find a. An
I'll look in
expert
my
on
contact. I think his name.
this. Here's where the sensibility problem comes in. The same people who will most vociferously oppose this are Mysterians who favor driving electric cars. Many of these minerals being mined are required to make the batteries for electric cars. So then what needs to be learned is there a safe place on Earth where Mysterians won't mind it getting scarred? Right now, African children mine this stuff with no protections, no pay, no health, no nothing. And they die young, and they're exposed to things they shouldn't be exposed to. The Chinese play a great role in that by owning the mines in Africa. And I'm not exaggerating when I say children are sent down into these mines. It's appalling. You know, up in the Boundary Waters, these people will be paid well. They'll have health insurance. There'll be safety precautions. They'll be adults, and on and on and on. That does not mitigate the idea that this is a terrible, terrible intrusion on such pristine land. I don't have the wisdom of Solomon here. I don't know what you want. The Mysterians are windmilling themselves. You've sold yourselves on the idea that petroleum is evil. Well, now you have to switch now, and you have to sell us on the fact that copper's evil, and nickel's evil, and sulfide ore's evil, because that's what's required to make the batteries to run your cars. This is a conundrum wrapped inside a Pandora's box.
There is a quote from a guy who he used to work in the Boundary Waters as a ranger. He's now the public lands director at Trout Unlimited, which is a conservation group that's obviously against this. He said two things can be true. You can support domestic mining and oppose this mine because of the location of it. So his view obviously is, there's places you can.
Okay, and that's what I don't know. Rookie, get on the damn laptop and urgently explore where in the United States is copper mined.
I can tell you where they want to put the proposed Minnesota mine. The Polymet copper nickel mine is near Hoyt Lakes and Babbitt. Babbitt, of course, already a mining stronghold in Minnesota. The Talon Metals, the Tamarack mine, that's going to be down in Aiken.
But that's a mine that will, if I'm not mistaken, what's in Aiken
is different, correct.
Is not only different, but it's producing material that will not be processed in Aiken. It will be railroaded to the Dakotas.
Right, out to the Dakotas. Right, we talked about that a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then the other one is the Twin Metals. It's been proposed but blocked. The Twin Metals mine is near Birch Lake. That's near Ely. And that's the one I think that they just overturned with that 20-year moratorium. I think that's the one we're talking about, correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's pretty close.
The same story, I just had that quote from Joe, says that copper, which is a crucial component in countless products, including cell phones, electric vehicles, military aircraft, currently comes from Chile, Canada, and other countries. The United States heavily reliant on those countries for their copper.
I've sent a text to Governor Arnie Carlson because when it came up a while ago in 2024 where Senator Jim Carlson was talking about mining in the Boundary Waters, he may have a connection. So if he does, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for this, people. This just caught us literally at 11:45. Have had no time to contact anybody, no time to do any research.
Joe, traditionally when we've talked about mining up around there, I've always said, let the people in the area make the choice. Do you think that still holds true now? Do we even have any business at all bitching about this? Or is this a statewide, nationwide issue?
Well, in a way, you're suggesting that, first of all, it's very thinly populated there. There aren't
Yeah.
that many people.
Yeah.
But you're talking about a global need for what's in the earth, a global need. So the question really is, I'm just guessing 5,000 off the top of my head. Do 5,000 people, is that going to be a strong enough voice to stop in that location the global need for the material? And it does not seem likely that it would be.
It was Bemidji Jim. And
Bemidji Jim.
I'll look for his contact info.
We had a caller once back in the day who was an expert on petroleum.
He was a former, I don't know if it was Mobil or Exxon employee.
He was a landman. I think he was a landman.
As far as you were looking for nickel mining, the only open working nickel mine in the United States is in the UP. That's traditionally where we've been getting nickels from for, 100 years, maybe more, maybe 1,000. They have traces of nickel mining going back hundreds of years up there.
You talk about what investment do we have? We don't live up there. We don't have family that live there. But the investment, I guess you could make the argument. I'm going to sound very euphorian. We all have an investment in the. It's always. Has it ever been in the back of your mind that exists, that the Boundary Waters exist?
Oh yeah, nonstop,
And
absolutely.
It's soulful. It
is.
It's a great thing to.
It's a life changer if
Yeah.
you've spent any time in the Boundary Waters. Yep.
But it's good to know such places exist.
Yes.
No matter if you live in a tenement house in New York City or if you live on a lake in the Boundary Waters, it's good to know that it's there. I don't think it was set aside out of some euphorian or Mysterian madness. It was set aside the way Teddy Roosevelt looked at Yellowstone and said, this needs to be set aside. This can't be. This is too important to the human spirit to look at this and to partake in it.
Since you brought up his name, he actually is the person who established the Superior National Forest up there.
Teddy?
Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is south of the Boundary Waters,
south,
which
yeah.
is even, if you ask me, a better place to go.
Yeah, it's
the
just
Superior
east of
National Forest is just wonderful, full of logging roads. It's the Wild West up there. It's fantastic.
And that
I
is
don't-
east of the mine area.
I don't
Yep.
think there's any turning back on the demand for these metals.
No.
We're not going back to landline telephones. We're not going back to black and white television sets. We're not going back to propeller-driven airplanes and spacecraft. We're not.
Joe.
If you want what you have now, if this is going to be, it's an eternal struggle. Do you want the future or don't you?
I've windmilled myself on this topic. I've done like the Kennedys did at Martha's Vineyard with the windmills. I have windmilled myself. I want mining. I don't want mining there.
You don't want to see it.
Yeah.
We all want the minerals, but we don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the hypocrisy of those that are protesting this or doing so from their iPhone.
Yeah. This is a terrible, terrible dilemma. It is a horrible dilemma. I will feel, I'm going to be very euphoric. I'll feel very saddened to see the Boundary Waters scarred and disrupted. Now, they're going to promise me it won't be scarred. It won't be disrupted.
Yeah, it won't be in the Boundary Waters. They're worried
It's
about
on the edge.
the poison water leaching in because that's the way the watershed goes. Yeah.
I don't have the answer, but we'll have, now that we know about it, we can make an attempt to be somewhat helpful. We're not helpful with our strain on sensibilities. We don't know where to be on this. Although it's easier for me to oppose it because I'll never drive an electric car anyway.
Oh, I remember what I was going to ask. Is this going, and I'm guessing none of us have the answer, is this somehow going to lower my taxes? Is the state going to be, is this going to be so beneficial that my property taxes or my income taxes.
Well, I was going to answer foolishly, but I'll answer seriously. Not with the people we have running this state.
Yeah.
You could have a $20 trillion windfall from the mines, and this state would blow it.
Yeah.
'Cause
My
they're
taxes
idiots.
would still go up. Yeah.
So let me move on to I have some really interesting emails. You'll note that every once in a while I like to clear the spindle, as Bill Deal used to say. John Joyce writes, yesterday you and the team were again discussing free grocery stores. A few months ago when the topic came up, I wrote reminding you that we in Minnesota have free grocery stores everywhere. They're called food shelves. Many have no requirement to qualify. You just show up. Many are well-funded and well-run. Dependency is the key. Like it or not, the socialists are gaining on us. Good luck, John from Eden Prairie. He's absolutely right. We have food shelves. I have an email from Downing. Where in the hell are they?
There was a great video that went viral, by the way, of your guy with the free grocery stores in New York.
They're not free. There's no such thing as a free grocery store.
Talking about tax day.
The Somalis thank you.
You're right.
Yeah,
No, they remind you.
they remind you.
Make sure you pay your taxes today.
I'm about 4 days behind. Get ready for some kind of sounder, and you'll decide when you hear the email.
All right.
Hail the Flashlight King.
Hail you!
I'm about 4 days behind on the podcast and catching up as I can after traveling to San Antonio last week to attend my daughter's graduation from basic military training at Lackland Air Force Base.
Fantastic.
I know the podcast goes with me, but my wife thinks you guys are a bunch of idiots, so we listen to the audio book for the Gales of November on the way down instead. Thanks for the recommendation. I heard you reference the band Fish and say that they can't be from Vermont because nobody is from Vermont. I had to laugh because my daughter shared a similar story. She's representing the North Dakota Air Guard, but her tough-as-nails drill instructor told her that that can't be possible because nobody's from North Dakota. The graduation ceremony was inspiring, and this dad may have had a hard time keeping it together occasionally. The day before the ceremony was the day the pilot was successfully rescued from Iran, and hearing our military commanders reiterate that we aren't leaving our men and women behind when it can be helped gives me hope. Speaking of hope, I'd be remiss not to mention that of her graduating basic training flight of 800 trainees, my daughter had the top physical training score of all the females and was chosen to run with the U.S. flag for the ceremony's Airman Run.
Yeah.
Please give a shout out to Airman Grace Ingebrigtsen if you can. Good luck, Chris. Well, give me something for this woman.
Gracious.
Way to go.
we were going to go that route.
Grace
She's a CI
Ingebrigtsen.
girl, baby.
She must be. Plus, she's in shape. I only gave you about 5 minutes to think about
Well, I
it.
didn't know. Okay, but I had no idea what the content of the...
And I said, you'll know once you hear the email.
Right.
Boy, that didn't pan out very well, did it? Grace, I'm trying to send you something, but we have technical problems.
Here's today's ray of hope.
That's what he came up with. That's it. That's fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine, you know.
How you doing, Joe?
Downing has a good note.
Huh?
Wednesday,
I'm confused.
Wednesday,
Hold on tight, man.
Can I get you a cot or something to ease your pain? You all right?
Yeah.
Wednesday, the Pioneer Press had a story about an influencer who was banned from St. Paul Parks. Did anybody see this story?
Yeah.
Yes.
I struggled. I'm puzzled by it.
By an influencer or by the fact that an influencer was
Apparently,
banned
he
from-
was an influencer, was bringing homeless people food.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for what purpose, I don't know. He was filming it. I don't
Was
play
he-
the influencer
He
game.
was trying to get social media following, yes.
Well, wait a minute here. Was he holding hobo fights?
No. Downing Downing says, what caught my eye was one particular word in this. It has been reported to me by DSI that you routinely breach this is from the story, that you routinely breach the peace within the park by going to the site to harass, record, and profit from vulnerable adults residing there without said individual's permission, reads the ban notice signed by Parks and Rec Director Andy Rodriguez. And then Downing says, according to dictionary.com, reside means to have one's permanent home in a particular place. Is the city of St. Paul officially allowing people to permanently live in the parks? It sounds to me like the city is defending the park residents' right to be secure in their private home. But I thought this was a public park. It's a very good point. A very good point. It would help me if I understood the world of influencing better. I think that's
I don't expect you to.
I think that's B as in B, S as in S. If you're an influencer, you don't have a job. And I know this hits close to home,
Joe,
because everybody in your family's an influencer.
Joe,
What?
what are you?
Podcast host.
Are you?
Kenny, hey, you got you there.
You guys are going to remember this, I bet.
I think columnists and podcast hosts are the original, the OG influencers.
We're OGs.
OG, baby.
What's your social media thing?
I can't do this first, can I? I have to ask you first if your garage door made it through the winter. Because right now you can get a new door if you need one from Precision Garage Door. They have models of doors for every budget. A designer comes out, you hash it out, bing, bang, boom. And right now, GLers get up to $400 trade-in for your old garage door when you purchase a new garage door from Precision Door. If your door's hanging in there and you still like it, but she's acting up, you might want to consider a Precision Door safe and sound package. $79 safe and sound package, and let the boys throw the 25-point safety inspection at it, and then you'll know where you stand with that current door. Book online at precisiondoormn.com. One word, precisiondoormn.com. Or call Precision Door at 612-263-6985 to schedule either a free on-site new door estimate or book a Precision Door safe and sound package.
'82, I was 17, my old man was 55. If you do the math between the two of us, that's 72 years alive. An eternity, so it seemed to me. How could anything live that long? Now I say my folks were only 84 the year that they passed on. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be. And my grandpa Roy, when he was a boy in 1904, he was taught by men who fought in the actual Civil War. And only 8 decades passed, and my high school class put the tassels on the other side. Started on our way full of naivete on the great American ride. The months and years slide past, each more quickly than the last. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see 100 years ain't what it used to be. Oh, Johnny!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Johnny, hey! Oh, yeah!
Did the guitar face.
The earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
Schoonover Body Works and Auto Care. Hey, by the way, it's Positive Thursday. I'm filling in for Mike today. Schoonover Body Works. Right there in leafy, lovable Shoreview, the official shop, both body and mechanical, of Garage Logic. That's because they're the best. And it's not just us saying that. You should read the CarWise and Google reviews. A solid 4.9 rating out of 5 is a pretty strong indication that the public loves schoonovers. I'm going to read some of them to you from just this morning. Keeley, 4.9 stars. John from this morning, 5 stars. 5, Paul gives 5 stars. Patricia, I love this one. Not only does she give 5 stars, she already has recommended them to a friend. She was just in there yesterday. She said Nikki at the desk and Matthew Schoonover were wonderful to work with, and they plan on staying with Schoonover for all her car needs. Time and time again, customers and GLers leave Schoonover in Shoreview very satisfied. All of us here at GL and our families are satisfied customers. It's a rare day that the fireworks commissioner and mayor of GL is satisfied. So the 4 of us, Chris, Matthew, John, and I, we would give Schoonover 5 stars because they're the best. Joe would give them 3.9 stars because they're the best. That's how the mayor rolls, right, Joe?
I'd give them all the stars they deserve.
It's like a pizza review. You can't go 10 every time, right?
Did you hear that, Mike? I got it out of him. Joe Souchere says 5 stars. Woohoo! Really, if you need somebody you really need to trust with top-notch team members treating your vehicle like it's their own, you need Schoonover Body Works and Auto Care. They're at 1060 County Road in Shoreview, and they're on the web, schoonoverbodyworks.com.
I'm hoping you guys recall this. I don't remember. I recall there's a small school in Colorado that teaches in the GL style, and we have referenced it previously. Is that ringing a bell with anyone? Does the name Kelly Burke ring a bell? Kelly.
Yes, I'm not sure why, though.
And her note is, and we don't often do this, but this has come up before on this show. Can you help us save our little charter school? Joe, I'm hoping this can become our ray of hope. My name is Kelly Burke, and I am the administrator of Guffy Community Charter School in Guffey, Colorado. You may be wondering why that name may seem familiar to you. Well, that's because you read an email I sent about 2 years ago talking about our school and how unique we are. Back then, we desperately it's coming back to me. Back then, we desperately needed a teacher, and now we are just trying to reach everyone to help save our school. Yes, we're in Colorado, but that doesn't stop me or many other GLers who live here in Colorado from listening to this amazing Minnesota podcast. I'm reaching out to share about why we are in need of donations to help save our little mountain school. Since the pandemic, we, along with many other schools, have suffered tremendous loss in student enrollments. This year is no different. In fact, it has gotten significantly worse. So many families are choosing to homeschool mainly because of all the crap that is going on in schools around the country, along with the simple fact that it's a flexible lifestyle and parents know the garbage won't be taught to them, and for the most part, their kids will get an education that they deserve. I feel my approach on advertising for our school, that we are old-fashioned and still actually teach the way we are supposed to be teaching in classrooms, is just not enough anymore. Mailers, flyers, newspaper ads, banners, social media just isn't enough to get our point across that we need kids in school and not just learning at home. The in-school environment socialization is vital to our kids growing up and assimilating into society. So many kids now are entitled and think the world owes them. It's schools like ours that give me a ray of hope, along with many other schools across the country like ours that strive to make a proper education possible so we can keep going every day. We are asking for help. Please check out our website for more info on our school where you can donate to help us out. Guffey School, Guffey. Guffey School, one word, guffeyschool.org. We are one of the oldest charter schools in Colorado and in the country. The original building of our school was built in 1917 and has been in operation since. We were authorized by our district in 1996. This is how we mainly funded for some that may have been in operation since. We were authorized by our district in 1996. This is how we are mainly funded for some that may not know. We get a certain amount of money for each child every year. These last 4 years, unfortunately, have decided so much so that we need to dip into our fundraising money to keep going. We have had to pause a new playground being built just to keep going as well. This school year, we have only 13 kids enrolled. Normal count is around 25 to 30. This has put a huge strain on our everyday operations and going into next school year. I just want to exhaust all my resources to reach anyone out there who may want to contribute to a cause that is so special to me, along with many other school administrators that may run schools like mine, to continue to give a proper education to future generations. It is crucial that schools like ours stay afloat. If there are any GLers out there willing to donate, anything will help. Just go to our website at guffyschool.org and check on our Colorado Gives button to donate. Every dollar counts right now. I have attached a picture of our school. P.S. Joe, if you can read this on the air, it can give my students a ray of hope along with their families. We love you guys. Okay. I think she's on the up and up.
I'm on the I'm on the website now, Suchi boy. Let me read a couple of things you probably already know. Guffey School, one of the oldest charter schools in Colorado, in operation since '96. They formed because they are over an hour away from the offices of their authorizing school district, and they have the ability to have a degree of autonomy. It's well suited to their extremely rural and isolated location. Listen to this. She mentioned the school body. We have an enrollment, typically, like you said, 25 to 30 students. In most years, we have 3 multi-age classrooms, K to 2, 3rd to 5th, and 6th to 8th. So each teacher has a small class. It's not uncommon for us to graduate 8th graders who have been at this school since kindergarten. I suppose from there they go on to a senior high school somewhere. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's this is pretty cool.
Well, Mysterians don't want to give them any money because the Mysterians want to get your kid and teach them. This is wonderful.
Well, right. They're not getting indoctrinated out here in the country.
So, GLers, if this interests you, do your own homework and go to Guffy. Well, I had it for you. Guffyschool.org. Let me look again to make sure I have that. Yes, Guffy School, one word, Guffey, guffyschool.org. So now the GLers know about it, and I think that's fantastic. In the meantime, where was I going to go here? Oh, well, Trump has cut millions from Catholic charities. I think he's feuding with the Pope, and this is one way the Trumper can weigh in. The Trump administration has abruptly canceled a multi-million-dollar contract with Catholic charity houses that care for migrant children. So, as the tensions rise between Trump and Pope Leo, there's going to be a lot of confrontations over such issues as migration and the war in Iran. The printer didn't serve me well on this story, but it caught my eye that this is one way that the feud will take a lousy turn here. I'm not a big fan of the government. The government spends too much money. But I suppose if I had to wave a magic wand, I would get the money to the right places. I don't think the people who run Catholic charities are stealing the money. I don't think they're putting it in their pocket. I think if the Catholic Charities announces that there's a particular center at 123 Main Street and you went there would actually be a center there with people doing work, unlike what we experience here in Minnesota. But that's one of the outgrowths of this feud the Pope and the president are having.
And it's almost as if it's not like there aren't other feuds to be had. Why is this one being picked? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Picked by who? The president?
Well, that's what it seems like, doesn't it?
You know, it even started in his first administration where he has managed to, and let me just continue. He's managed to alienate some of his biggest supporters. I'm thinking turkey farmers with illegal alien workers, farmers, etc. Now Catholic voters that have voted for him. This can't be sitting right with the Catholic voters. It's dangerous if you ask me.
It should be obvious, even to those who suffer from Trump derangement syndrome, who still believe the guy is a functioning human.
You can't. You're the only person on the planet that does this with Trump derangement.
No, the people who have Trump derangement syndrome are the people who actually buy this BS. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. He sees the presidency only for himself. For example, the property in Washington, D.C., the White House, is not his. That's not his house. A judge today stopped construction of the ballroom, the above-ground construction of the ballroom. And many people with Trump derangement syndrome have said to me, well, it's just a ballroom, big deal. The country needs a ballroom. It is a big deal. It's not his house.
But
and I don't buy for a minute that the taxpayers won't get on the hook for some of it.
But what purpose does that serve at this point? Had that judge done this before the construction began, okay, I get it.
I think.
But now we got just a big giant hole in the middle.
Well, I think they're going to build more of a security bunker for the president. Seriously, an underground, bomb shelter like we had in the good old 1950s.
Well, they didn't have a ballroom there. They had the East Room, but they didn't have an actual ballroom.
Yeah,
there.
and I don't care that they didn't. He treats the presidency like he treats it's his own realm. If you think he cares about you, Kenny, you got another thing coming. He doesn't even know we exist.
I'm not here to argue with you.
And it's not. Everything he does is to enrich himself or his family. I just don't know how anyone can call me or email and tell me how their life is better today than it was 4 years ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. Where were we? Oh, so he took the money from Catholic charities, and I guess he can do that. I would think Congress would have to weigh in on an appropriations for money to never mind. But
Never stopped him before, Joe.
But you're making blanket statements here, Joe, and you're going against what you have said previously, where he has done things that have actually helped the country and things that you agree with. I mean, one or the other here, Such.
Yeah, I like the fact that we're not in the Paris Accords. Getting us out of that was fine with me. I like the fact that he's a gasoline guy. I like that.
Where's he batting? What's his batting average with you? Just you personally.
Below the Mendoza line.
Maybe $180.
Because I do think in a lot of aspects the country is better off than having.
How? I think it's a worthy goal. I think it's a worthy goal to eliminate that devilish theocracy in Iran. I think that's a worthy goal.
The climate change nonsense that
I loved what he's done there. I heard
shoved down our throat.
I just said that. I just said that. You're repeating me. I just said that. And he loves gasoline. He doesn't know how to work a gas. He couldn't go to a gas station and successfully pump gas, but he loves gas.
Show me one that, besides George Bush, that could pump his own gas.
I'm not even sure he could.
He knows where the throttle is, though. He drives on his ranch.
Can I remind people once more publicly, and I've only said it 10,000 times, both parties delivered the worst possible candidates for the last election. I didn't vote for Trump, and I didn't vote for Harris. I had no one to vote for. And I remain politically lonely. Anyway, the judge dropped that'll get fixed, and they'll have the ballroom. I don't know. They'll figure out a way to build the ballroom.
I've got to paint some trim this year. I've got a barn to paint. I've got another building that needs roofing. I got my own concerns.
Why don't you build a ballroom?
The White House.
My shop could double as a ballroom.
There you go.
Here's something I could agree with. The Trump administration is now on board in examining the disappearance of the 10 scientists affiliated with NASA and Space Propulsion Laboratory. I think it's time they did get involved. The White House said the government's going to look into it. Since 2023, 10 people linked to top secret space and nuclear research in the U.S. have either died or vanished. And it's got the attention. I think Trump said noted, and they're going to do something about it. He said, thank you for taking note of this. Something I think the government is worth doing, and so let me do that for you. That's Caroline Levitt. But after years of no answers from the government, Levitt's reply was not enough. Does that infer they're not looking into it now, for crying out loud? This is a general involved, one reporter said. And then I suppose that broke into a scrum in the press room. But the White House is involved. That was among the many promises Trump gave us.
Doesn't that sound like a load of crap?
Yeah.
Anytime the White House, no matter who's sitting there, says we're going to look into it,
it's the White House.
That means you'll never, ever get to the bottom of it, no matter who's driving the White House.
See, this secret, which has never been told to the public, must be so powerful that even Trump keeps his mouth shut. They got to Trump and said, Trump, you can't do this. You cannot release these files as you promised to the public. And even he bought it.
More powerful than Pope Leo.
It's more powerful than the Pope, more powerful than Trump. Whatever is being hidden from us is being hidden from us for you. You pick your own reason. But it must be so powerful that even Trump is humbled by it. Even Trump can't get away with blabbing about it. He's not going to. He promised the electorate, I'm releasing the Epstein files. I'm releasing the UFO files. He's not going to release anything. The Epstein files he's not going to release for his own reasons. And the UFO files he's not going to release because somebody scared the hell out of him. Apparently believing that it would scare the hell out of us to know what the truth of what's happening. So there you are. Where were we?
Trump derangement syndrome is a political slang term describing irrational, intense, and emotional reactions to Donald Trump, where critics allegedly lose objectivity, logic, or perspective.
I'm the mayor of Garage Logic. I've lost no perspective. I've lost no logic. And I think those words are aptly describing of people who think this guy is actually a good guy doing something noble.
Coined by Charles Krauthammer. Did I say that right?
Charles Krauthammer. No longer with us.
It suggests a general hysteria, often used by supporters to dismiss criticism or describe extreme, hyperfixated anti-Trump sentiment, as heard on Garage Logic.
Well, oddly enough, Charles became a virulent anti-Trumper before he died.
So I wonder, did he then say, I have it?
What you just read, did they mention Garage Logic?
Yeah, right
Okay,
there at the very end.
Yeah.
Jeez, Joe.
Oh, I'd have been proud of that.
You're funny. And I know right now I'm not even going to go I know the internet is just banging away at us right now.
I've been straightforward all the time. I said I had no one to vote for. The parties delivered the two worst possible candidates in human history.
What's beautiful, Joe, is if you went to the internet, to social media, everybody knows that you voted for every Democrat in the last three elections. That's what they say anyway on the social media.
Well, you get that a lot with your column, too, don't you?
You voted for Walls, you voted for Harris.
Oh, I did, huh?
It's your fault
everybody,
that Minnesota is
Democrat.
in the state.
It is really, really, really difficult to hold the center. It's really difficult.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to be the mayor of a town full of people who have common sense. They get it. They understand. I owe no allegiance to any political party. I owe allegiance to common sense and right and wrong.
Well,
So Ukraine is.
I don't owe allegiance to that bat crap nutcase.
Next to another country called Russia.
you
Russia
are
is a
roundly
bigger country.
hated, Joe, by both sides.
Well, then I think I'm doing my job. Then I'm successful in trying to maintain law and order here at the bar at the Knack Hardware and Lounge.
You know
if
who
everybody
doesn't
hates
hate
you,
you?
you're doing something
You know
right.
what? There's one person that doesn't hate you, Joe.
Who?
Me.
Oh, that's so nice.
I'm filling in for Matthew. He has to go back
Did
to
he
work.
just leave? Like, where
He did. He said he was here till 1.
That's what I thought.
What
No,
happened
his
to him?
meeting is at 1.
Meetings at 1. Yeah.
Why did he even bother to come over here?
Because he's a dedicated
To eat lunch.
GLer.
No, Kenny, he came over here to
Go
eat.
ahead,
He
Chris.
came in to eat lunch
Came in to eat lunch, and then he could put it on his time card, too.
That's
So.
right.
because it was grill day.
He's no dummy.
Tom had brats and burgers and potato salad. Oh boy, it was a good day.
A needle this long went into my ear today. That long.
Yikes.
Has it improved it at all?
No, but it's not supposed to instantly. Maybe by tomorrow. Maybe 2 days. Maybe you got to do it again. Whatever.
Wow.
Well, and
And, well,
maybe you should do an ad.
what do you want?
I would love to hear from you, Joe
I got
Souchery,
it for
about our
you.
friends at Center,
I got it for you.
the American Experiment.
You know, even when Trump comes up, it derails the show.
Well, you bring him
I
up.
was gonna say you're the host.
None of us want to talk about him.
That's my fault.
Okay.
Oh, I brought up the Catholic Charities thing, and that just...
I rather
Yeah,
enjoy the discussions.
Of all the
myself.
people to go after, I would not go after the Pope.
The Catholic voting bloc is pretty big.
Yeah,
They
and a
put
lot of them.
JFK over the hump to make him the first Catholic president ever
I know
elected.
a ton of Catholics that love President Trump.
I do too. I do too. They
know a
have
lot
Trump
of-
derangement syndrome.
I know a lot of Catholics who voted for him on one issue. Actually, I
Abortion,
know
yeah.
a lot, yes.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. You hear me cite the American Experiment all the time. It's one of our go-to sources for information in Minnesota that's just not getting covered elsewhere. And right now, I want you to be aware of the center of the American Experiment is a big part of pushing for nuclear power for Minnesota so we can have affordable electricity again. Nuclear energy is clean and reliable. It has no carbon emissions. The technology is safer than it ever was, more advanced than it ever was. But because of Governor Cockwomble, we have a nuclear moratorium that blocks utilities from even proposing new nuclear plants. They can't file a plan. They can't start a study. They can't even begin the process. Minnesota doesn't have to make the same mistake. Go to America, they reference Germany. Germany tried the anti-nuke path too. Today they're paying the price. Soaring electricity costs, lost industry, and a government admitting they made a serious strategic error. Minnesota does not have to make that same mistake. Go to AmericanExperiment.org, click on Take Action, and tell your lawmakers to lift the moratorium, free the nukes, and protect Minnesota's energy future with AmericanExperiment.org.
The earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
Hofferman Water and Connecticut. You know what? I've got to make a call myself because I might be getting a new system with Hofferman Water and Connecticut. And you know what? Here's the deal. Spring is a wonderful time to get on that schedule like I'm about to. So call them up directly at 612-895-2440. That's how you get in touch with them directly. Or you can also book your free consultation online at HoffermanWater.com. And as long as you're on that website, you can see every single different water treatment system that they have to offer. Whether you're looking for a brand new water softener, maybe an iron, rust, and odor filtration system. That's the one that I'm looking for, by the way. Or if you want to go with a brand new drinking water system, Hofferman Water will make an amazing difference in the quality of your water. They have done that with me. They will do that for you. And their customer service team is spectacular. They will constantly remind you, hey, dum-dum, like they have to do with me. It's time to change those filters. Okay, yep, sounds good. Let's get that done. But you know what? Once you get that system installed, your showers are so much better. So is your laundry, so is your cooking, so is your drinking water. Everything gets improved with Hofferman Water and Connecticut. And oh, by the way, it will help with your resale value of your home, too, because you have a state-of-the-art water treatment system. 612-895-2440 or visit HoffermanWater.com. Hofferman Water has been proudly serving the state of Minnesota for over 50 years. Please do me a favor and mention that you heard about them here on the Garage Logic Podcast.
Here's John Height.
Thank you, Joe. This news brought to you by North American Banking Company. As we told you, the U.S. Senate has officially voted to lift the 20-year federal ban on mining near the Boundary Waters Canoe area, sending it to President Trump's desk for his final approval. The final vote on that was 50 yes votes and 49 no votes. Meanwhile, in that area, there's a new fellow who apparently wants to run against Pete Stauber. I am not familiar with him. Summer House alum. I don't know what Summer House was. An actor, and his name is Luke Gilbranson. He says he'll challenge Pete Stauber for his seat in Minnesota's 8th Congressional District this fall. The 42-year-old Gilbranson is from Eveleth. He went public in a new campaign video yesterday, just weeks before the Minnesota DFL convenes in Rochester. He said, I know what it's like to get the power turned off a few times, to need food assistance or go hungry, but I had hockey, I had the woods, I had people here on the Iron Range who taught me how to keep going. Stauber, who was first elected to the U.S. House in 2018, also grew up in the Iron Range. He's a retired law enforcement officer. His current term ends in January of 2027. He's a staunch ally of President Trump, and he's recently made headlines with that push to end those protections for the Boundary Waters Canoe area. Gilbranson does have his work cut out for him, as at least 4 other Democrats will also vie for Stauber's seat heading into the summer primary.
John, so Gilbranson is also a proponent?
No, he is not
an opponent. Okay.
He's an opponent. Okay. Yes.
Right.
Yep.
I've never heard of him. He's a reality TV show guy?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
He was in something called Summer House.
Yeah, it was a TV series from 2017.
Huh.
Okay. Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with it.
When you said it that way, full disclosure, because we're an open book here, I thought John was referencing maybe a city in Minnesota that I was unaware of.
Oh, Summer House.
Like Summer House, the way you phrase it, Summer House,
I don't
Minnesota.
think I don't think you should feel bad about that.
Okay, thank you,
Is it a reality TV
Yeah,
show?
it was a group of people that left their New York City estate for life outside.
Oh, they lived in the cabin
Sure.
and chased the broads around the yard.
Sure.
and all
Fish
that.
out of
good.
water,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Yeah.
Ew, I'm not touching that.
No,
Big
it's a
city
worm.
in the country. Right? What
Boy.
is that smell?
Yeah.
Oh, why is it so noisy? Who's shooting guns at 10 p.m. at night?
Kenny calls that summer up north
Yeah.
on the weekends.
Yeah.
Prosecutors in Hennepin County are bringing felony assault charges against a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent in connection with a February incident on Highway 62. This marks the first criminal charges against any federal law enforcement to come out of Operation Metro Surge, the occupation of thousands of immigration agents that produced numerous claims of civil rights abuses here in the U.S. The agent, identified in the documents as 35-year-old Gregory Donald Morgan of Temple Hills, Maryland, faces 2 counts of second-degree assault with a dangerous weapon. Charging documents say Morgan was illegally driving on the right-hand shoulder of Highway 62 when the victim moved their car onto the shoulder in an attempt to stop him from passing. When the victim driver moved back into the regular flow of traffic, Morgan pulled alongside the car, opened his window, and pointed a handgun at the driver and passenger in the other car.
Kenny, I'm not joking. People are losing it on the roads, especially this week has been extremely aggressive because of the construction and just the heavy amounts of traffic. It's become a nut house on the roads.
Well, this was back.
This was a lot.
But John, what I'm saying is the aggression level on the roads the last week or two has been off the charts. So this doesn't surprise me in the least bit, is what I'm trying to say.
But this doesn't really have anything to do with it.
Do you know
the hell it doesn't?
Yeah.
Do you know the date and the cross street of 62? Because I watched an incident on 62 the same day of the first Whipple building protest. Do you have the date of that incident?
February 5th was the date of the incident.
All right, let me do some digging. Okay, go ahead.
The victims called 911, reported the incident to the Minnesota State Patrol. State troopers were later able to interview the ICE agent and his partner, who was in the backseat at the Whipple Federal Building. Mary Moriarty said her office was quickly able to bring charges in the incident because, unlike the investigation into the killings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy, the case was spearheaded by the Minnesota State Patrol, followed typical processes of information gathering. A resolution to forward articles of impeachment against Governor Walz and Attorney General Keith Ellison failed on an 8-8 tie vote in the Minnesota House Rules and Administration Committee, with all Republicans voting in favor and all Democrats voting against. If the resolution had passed, it would have sent impeachment articles to the House Fraud Committee for more investigation and eventually a possible vote on the House floor. We do not have the power to arrest or prosecute for crimes, but Article 8 of the Minnesota Constitution gives the House, quote, sole power of impeachment, said Representative Harry Niska, House Rules and Administration Committee co-chair. The resolution for impeachment was brought by Republican Representatives Mike Weiner of Long Prairie and Ben Davis of Merrifield.
Well, he won't get impeached, but I'm glad it's on their minds because he certainly deserves to.
State lawmakers thinking about a proposal to set term limits for Minnesota's top office. Republican Representative Jimmy Gordon is the primary author of the House version, which would change the state constitution to place a 2-term limit on the offices of governor and lieutenant governor, beginning with candidates elected in 2026. It's not retroactive, so past governors could run again. More than 2/3 of states currently have term limits for governors. The proposal would amend the Constitution, which would place the question on the 2026 general election ballot for voters to decide. State records show that since the 1960s, when Minnesota moved from 2 to 4-year terms, only former Governor Rudy Perpich has served 3 terms, and he did not serve all of those consecutively. The bill still in committee. There's a DFL author on both the House and Senate versions. Tyler Kistner, the Republican candidate for Minnesota's 2nd Congressional District, announced yesterday he is ending his campaign. Kistner said he was activated from the Marine Reserves for deployment to the Middle East. He said in a statement, "My priority in life has always been to serve my God, my family, and the people of the United States. It's never been in me to let someone else's son or daughter take my place when I am fully capable of going myself." Kistner had run for Congress twice, you'll remember, before losing both times to incumbent Representative Angie Craig. With Kistner's exit, just one Republican candidate, State Senator Eric Pratt, remains in the race. In announcing his exit, Kistner did not say whether he would endorse Pratt. His campaign strategist Billy Grant later confirmed that Kistner would not back the state senator, saying, "We will not be endorsing Eric Pratt due to his history of bashing President Trump and extremely weak record in the legislature." Pratt couldn't be immediately reached for comment on Kistner's decision not to endorse him, but in a statement he thanked Kistner for his service. There are currently 3 candidates running in the Democratic field to replace Craig: former Lakeville Mayor Matt Little, State Senator Matt Klein, and State Rep. Kayla Berg. And don't worry if you hear sirens today. They'll go off as part of that statewide tornado drill we have every spring to ensure warning systems are operational. You'll hear the sirens at 1:45 this afternoon and 6:45 this afternoon.
I'm going to worry.
Minnesota experiences an average of 46 tornadoes per year, with most occurring between May and August, though they've been spotted as early as March. Why don't we take a quick break here and hear from Mr. Olson.
Thank you, John. Boy, that joint is jumping. The Pro Turf crew, they're getting after it right now. The irrigation guys, gals, they're out getting systems ready for the system. You know, they can repair and maintain your system and put it to bed in the fall just log on to professionalturf.com. The landscaping crews, oh my goodness, they're already busy turning your dismal yards into absolute show places, doing everything it takes to give you a wonderful outdoor environment that not only improves your morale, but it really improves your curb appeal, and that forces your equity up. And that's the American dream, actually. Log on to professionalturf.com, have an experienced crew member come out and give you a free estimate and show you with their digital imaging software what your finished landscape project will look like before they even put a shovel in the ground. They do top-notch work, certified by the Minnesota Nursery Landscape Association. Follow your dreams, because with the landscape crew, anything is possible. And, of course, the seasoned Pro Turf lawn techs, they're already out dragging hoses, laying down liquid and granular weed killer and fertilizer that always results in a lush, thick green lawn free of dandelions, crabgrass, and broadleaf weeds. Sign up today. It's a free in-person estimate. They'll come right to you. Pro Turf, we're talking exceptional lawn care, landscape, and irrigation service in business since 1982 and ready to serve you now in 2026. ProfessionalTurf.com.
Thank you, Kenny. My Pro Turf guy was out yesterday morning for the spring application, which immediately made me sigh in relief.
Are your yards greening up down there already?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. You're about 2 weeks ahead of us.
Wait till we get that foot of snow on Saturday, then they're really going to green up.
Don't say that out loud.
Sorry.
Ain't gonna snow. 39 degrees, too hot.
Nothing.
In national and international stories, Virginia's former Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax, who was a rising star in the Democratic Party several years ago before his career was derailed by sexual assault allegations, fatally shot his wife before killing himself, police said this morning. Both were found dead in their Northern Virginia home in Annandale after the couple's teenage son called 911 shortly after midnight. The couple was going through a divorce, and Fairfax was served recently with paperwork that indicated when he was to appear next in court, according to Fairfax County Police Chief Kevin Davis. For a brief period in 2019, Fairfax had seemed poised to become Virginia governor as Democratic Governor Ralph Northam became involved in a scandal over a racist photo on his medical school yearbook that led to calls for his resignation. But then two women came forward and accused Fairfax of sexually assaulting them years earlier. He adamantly denied the allegations. Fairfax said the encounters were consensual and refused calls to resign. For the first time since President Trump threatened Iran, Senate Republicans blocked a measure on April 15th to halt American hostilities in the war. It was a largely party-line vote, 47-52. The resolution to reassert Congress's war powers did not advance. Most Republicans, except for Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky, opposed the measure. Most Democrats, except for Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania, supported it. The bill was sponsored by Senator Tammy Duckworth, an Illinois Democrat and veteran. Update from a story from yesterday. President Trump now threatening to fire Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell if he does not resign from the Board of Governors when his term as chair ends next month.
I thought we established he doesn't have that power, does he, to fire Powell? Because we talked about that months ago.
I don't think he does as chairman, but I think he can because Powell would now become just a member of the
Gotcha.
board.
He has
But
the power to humiliate him.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll do that?
Oh, yeah.
Do I have the power to fire Chris? Chris, hit the bricks, Chris. You're out of here.
Well,
If you did, that would have happened a long time ago.
Well, former chairs usually resign from the bank's 7-member board of governors after their leadership term ends. Powell has said he plans to stay on as a governor until the probe of his company.
I thought of something to say positive about Trump. All right? Popes, as little as I know about popes, they're in the peace business.
Okay.
Right? That's what they do. They're not
Sure,
that's almost rule number one to be a pope. You got to be in the peace business.
During World War II? Also?
Well, don't.
Okay. Let's talk about the future.
Don't muddy the waters, Kenny.
God almighty.
I know I'm always there with the stupid question.
So
Now,
Pius
let's just look
XII
forward,
might have
Joe.
contributed a little. Okay? I can't do anything about that.
All right.
The popes are in the peace business, and I have heard defenders of Trump say that while the Pope has never spoken out about Iranian terrorism the way he's spoken out about Trump's invasion, not true. All you got to do is look it up. That Trump spoke mightily opposed to Iran innocently slaughtering protesters. They're in the peace business. What is interesting, and this is, I guess, the positive part for Trump, is you didn't read that anywhere about the Pope condemning the behavior of the Iranian regime that was killing protesters. And so now you have defenders of Trump saying, gee, isn't it funny the Washington Post and the New York Times, they're suddenly in the camp of the Catholic Church when they never would have been before because
that's interesting.
Because they interpret that as being against Trump. And I guess what I'm saying is, no, popes are in the peace business. The Pope is violently against. I guess you can't use the word violently with a pope. The Pope is strongly against the atrocities committed by the Iran regime. But you never read that. You're only reading now, and this does make Trump look bad. You're only reading now that the Pope is opposed to Trump's invasion of Iran. So there's some context missing there, because conventional news gathering organizations do not routinely report the Pope's statements.
Well, you led me all over there.
That's the last of my.
I think I kept up.
I hope you got it,
but I'm not going to
repeat myself.
I'm not going to be able to quote you, but I think I might know what you're saying.
Here's what Joe said. I think.
Yeah.
No.
Go ahead. If I need it, I don't think I need interpretation. The Pope is getting.
For me, you do.
Well,
just for me, my brain.
Never mind.
Okay, I'll go with that too.
It was clear to listeners.
Yeah. Good one.
I just want you to know I followed along.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What did I say?
Yep.
In Turkey, have you ever heard or read anything about these? Because they just appear as little blurbs in the paper. A second mass school shooting in 2 days. 14-year-old student shot and killed at least 9 people, including 8 of his fellow students, wounded 13 others at a middle school in southeastern Turkey on Wednesday. One day before that, Tuesday, an 18-year-old former student opened fire at a high school in southeast Turkey, wounding 16 people before turning the gun on himself. In the latest attack, 8 students and 1 teacher died. That was in Kahramanmaraş, according to Turkey's Interior Minister Mustafa Sifsi, adding that 6 of the wounded were in critical condition. Sifsi said this was solely a personal attack carried out by one of our students, not a terror incident.
You know, it's funny you bring up Turkey, John. Not funny in that case, of course, but if I've learned one thing over my life, I've learned a few things, but if I've learned one thing for sure, I'm never going to Turkey for a medical procedure. I've not read of many. You know how when an American athlete gets operated on, the doctor comes out and he always says it went well.
Successful.
It just went well.
Yep.
I've never read about a procedure in Turkey that went well. And the latest I saw was a guy went there to get all new teeth, because in the UK they wanted too much money. He didn't have the money, so he went to Turkey. He got all new teeth, and he came home, and he was laughing with his friends, and all his teeth fell out. All the teeth fell out on the floor. And I thought, that's another example of a procedure that didn't really go well.
Yeah. When you talk about the doctor coming out of the surgery, I'm picturing from True Grit.
I'm sure there's some great Turkish doctors.
No, Joe, listen.
But they're in this country.
That scene in True Grit where Rooster says, that didn't pan out.
That didn't pan out well. So this poor guy, there's pictures of him where he's got this thing going on, and there's no teeth.
Yeah,
because they all fell out when somebody told a joke.
A school. Speaking of school shootings, I know not a pleasant subject, but here's a good story, perhaps about one. Here in the U.S., newly released surveillance video shows an Oklahoma high school principal tackling a gunman in the school's lobby.
Good for him.
Seconds after the suspect opened fire at Pauls Valley High School last week, Principal Kirk Moore is seen racing into the hallway. He pushes the gunman onto a bench and holds him down before another staffer helps kick the weapon away. Moore's an educator for 35 years, was injured, shot in the leg, airlifted to a nearby hospital. He'll be just fine. Nobody else was injured in the shooting. Lindell Fields, the Oklahoma superintendent of public instruction, said he got up like the rest of us to go to work, and who dreamed this was going to happen, so I'd just like to tell him thank you. In a statement, the principal credited instincts and training as well as God's hand for helping him subdue the threat. He said he looks forward to returning to work as soon as possible so he can continue his life's work of educating the next generation of Oklahoma leaders. Court documents identified the suspect as Victor Lee Hawkins. Law enforcement said the 20-year-old suspect is a former student of Pauls Valley High School.
John, by training, what do you mean by training? Was he in the military?
That's what he said, training. So I don't. He's been.
You guys ever
35
seen?
years
You've ever seen a video, surveillance videos, like from convenience stores, where ex-Marine or some badass is standing in line, and some punks come in, and he just opens up a number 9 can of whoop ass on
There's
them.
one where there's a guy in a store, and the caption is, "You know this burglar's in trouble because watch the guy take off his glasses."
Oh, yeah. He's like an Army Ranger.
God,
He
those
said
videos
that's
are
it.
so
Took off his
satisfying.
glasses, calmly set him on the counter and beat the heck out of the guy.
Heck. A jury found yesterday concert giant Live Nation and its Ticketmaster subsidiary had a harmful monopoly. No kidding. Over big concert venues, dealing the company a loss in a lawsuit over claims brought by dozens of U.S. states and the District of Columbia. Manhattan federal jury deliberated for 4 days before reaching its decision Wednesday, which gave fans the equivalent of a backstage pass to a business that dominates live entertainment in the U.S. and beyond. Earlier, the judge told lawyers on both sides to meet with one another and the United States to provide a joint letter proposing a schedule for motions and how the remedies phase of this case would occur. Live Nation owns, operates, controls booking for, or has an equity interest in hundreds of venues. Its subsidiary Ticketmaster is widely considered to be the world's largest ticket seller for live events. Also, if I might add, the world's worst. The verdict could cost Live Nation and Ticketmaster hundreds of millions of dollars.
Good.
Just for the $1.72 per ticket that the jury found Ticketmaster overcharged consumers in at least 22 states.
Isn't it easier to just go to Ticket King?
They drove other promoters out of business. They jacked up the prices. They took over the industry, and it made it miserable for all of us. These ticket prices now are outrageous and offensive.
The pricing thing now, where it goes up depending on how many people want the tickets, is ridiculous, and it's all a Ticketmaster thing. I've gone, at least 2 concerts recently where I didn't buy tickets because of that.
Yeah. As far as the promotions go, John, they just took other promoters out of the bidding game. They just owned artists.
So I have a question.
To see Springsteen here last week or whenever it was, did you have to go through Ticket King to get a ticket?
Ticketmaster. Yes. Well, unless you went to a secondary market, which would cost you more anyway.
But even more money.
Here's my question about that, John. This is great. I'm glad that they're doing something about it. But is this a case of Ticketmaster saying, "Okay, we'll pay the fine," and they're just going to keep doing this anyway?
I would assume at some point they have to remedy the situation as what has caused all this to come to court. You would think, don't you?
Because I remember this happening a couple of years ago as well with Live Nation and Ticketmaster, and basically, here's the check we'll write for the fine, and nothing changed because here we are again.
It's just the cost of doing business.
Yeah. It's just they're saying, okay, well, we're paying $1 million, whatever the fine is, but we made $10 million, or we made 10 times the amount that we're going to pay in a fine anyway. I know. I'm with you. I think it's outrageous. Yeah,
they double charged me for a concert once, and I couldn't get a hold of anybody. You can't call them and talk to anybody.
No,
there's no human being you can talk to. Anyway,
anywho's
the whole ticketing process these days it's communism, anti-American. If you ask me, why can't I hold my ticket in my hand? Don't tell me it's cheaper. When I buy a ticket for a venue, I don't want it on my phone. I want it in my greasy hand.
Can I tell you something?
Go ahead, Joe.
a friend of mine said, I've got 2 tickets for the Wild game last week.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And all you have to do is go to the window, and they'll be waiting for you.
Sure.
And you should have show them the text messages that I've sent you on your phone. And I got to the window, and they never heard of this guy who gave me the tickets, and they never heard of me, and they never heard of this guy's emails, and there was nothing. And it was all had to be done by phone and all. And I'm thinking, well, I called Patrick because I knew he was in the press box. I say, hey, this is me and my brother. I said, tell him my brother works for the White Bear Press and get us up to the press box. And Pat says, I'll send somebody down. Well, the guy that came down was the CEO of the Wild.
Oh, Jesus.
Well,
And he said, I'm not using my 2 seats tonight. You guys can use them. Matt was a hell of a guy.
Yeah.
And then he said, but what we have to do first is I have to send you this on your phone so you have a barcode. So I said, then it got even more complicated because I'm having terrible email problems. So I said, well, we got to send it to my brother's phone. So it was sent to my brother's phone. And then Matt, who's taken all the time in the world to do this, he's saying, okay, now you have to create a password. So, and I'm thinking, I think I will kill myself. I just think I will go out and lay in the middle of the freeway.
This is it.
okay.
No, I'm
10
not
years
done.
ago.
Wait a minute.
No, you have to be done.
No, I'm not
It can't
done.
get worse.
It gets worse.
No, it can't.
So we're standing there. By now, the game started. We're still standing out there looking for passwords and barcodes. And finally, Paul says, well, I think I got it. And we went to the window, and then they grabbed the phone. Then the phone goes on some device they have, and they go, yeah, just put this on your phone. Put the 2 tickets on your phone. Then we went. Well, first we tried to get through the gate because we thought we had it solved. And the kid at the gate said, no, man, you got to go back and get the barcode. So then we went back to the window. This isn't anything to do with Matt, the guy that set us up. This is
technology
just modern
corner.
life.
Yeah.
So we go back, and then he finally gets the 2 barcodes on his phone, and we get back in, and we finally got in. But I'm thinking, I was a Wild season ticket holder the first 5 years, and I had a cardboard ticket in my hand.
Joe, this technology has made it way easier.
No, it hasn't. It's made it 10 times worse.
In my mind, when Matt showed up, he would do one of these. He would look at, where's my head?
Yeah.
He would look at the turnstile guy and say, these 2 guys, let them in.
The guy runs the club.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he couldn't get us in.
And then he would say, tell the usher you're with me, and it would all be solved.
It all worked out, but it's a biggest
Chris.
bunch of BS you've ever seen in
Chris,
your life.
I see the look on your face. Don't
too.
you dare try to defend the current process.
I'm going to. So
I'm
John.
not, no, here was going to be my question. Joe, how long was the process? Would you say between
That'd be
you
30
finding
minutes
out
at
that
least.
you finding out that the original email was no good, calling Patrick, Matt coming down and
no
wonderfully taking care.
exaggeration, 40 minutes.
Okay,
Wow.
follow up question:
Oh,
how long did you stay at the game?
I stayed.
well, that doesn't matter.
No, I'm just thinking he went through a 45-minute process and sat there for 20 minutes. Went,
No.
Well, better head out.
No, I stayed. I stayed
Okay,
till,
good.
well, not the whole game, but I stayed.
if I may argue the opposite side for just one moment,
No.
Criminy.
I went to a Twins game the other night.
Yeah.
I went to the secondary market. I bought 2 wonderful tickets.
The one where the Red Sox player gave you the finger.
No, I was the game before that.
Okay.
So I bought 2 tickets online. They went into the app for the company I bought the tickets from, and it took a minute and a half maybe. And then when I got to the ballpark, I went ding ding. They clicked off my phone, and a minute and a half.
I was
2
a
minutes.
season ticket holder at the Indy 500. They gave you the option, the phone or the tickets.
I want a cardboard
yes.
ticket.
Always. Yeah.
There's a market for old tickets too for concerts.
I bet there is.
From the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Like, you can get $50 for a ticket. But
Really?
I guess that's gone, I guess.
Hit top 2 dots slashes whoa
Chris.
period origin.
Chris, you're fired. Leave the premises at
All I'm
once.
telling you is, it ain't like it used to be.
Every bit of new technology puts our lives backwards 10%.
Except for Heights,
Except for John. Yeah. John.
who apparently understands it all. and is very
Not much to understand.
nimble on the phone. And Paul and I combined, not much going on there.
Well, apparently you can't get your email to work. I think that pretty much sums up the entire
right,
story.
I got 3
John, your
different emails.
condescending, self-righteous nonsense is
Condescending, Kenny. That means when you talk down to someone.
Jane, you
It's time
ignorant
for a break.
slut.
Yeah, thank you. That's where we're at. John, you ignorant slut.
Yeah. Why don't we take a time out?
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life.
Every tooth the guy
Joe
got,
Souchere.
every tooth the guy got in Turkey fell out.
North American Banking Company is here for you. They're here for your family. And you know what else they're here for, Joe?
What?
They're here for all of you small business owners. That's right. They want to help you expand your business with confidence, and you get that feeling. Why is that? Glad you asked. Thank you, Reavers. That's because they are locally owned and operated. And that means all loan decisions are made right here in the Twin Cities. No. They do not send these out of state. So this helps you business owners, solve problems quickly. That's right. But see it for yourself. Check them out online today. It's nabankco.com. They have 6 fantastic and wonderful Twin Cities locations to serve you. It's Roseville, 50th in France, Woodbury, Hastings, Shoreview, and also in Maple Grove, offering you that wonderful, locally owned and community activated personalized service at each and every single one of their locations. nabankco.com to learn more, and also offering you those same updated online and mobile banking tools as all of those other big national banks. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender. Joe?
Only because they come to us all the way from the traveling linemen who are cruising eastward in the southern part of the Coral Sea. The closest land is off to the port. To the north is Noumea, New Caledonia. Wow. worldwidewaftage.com, the traveling lineman's. It was on this day.
April 16th.
Well, on this day in 1901, while in Seattle on business, St. Paul rail tycoon James J. Hill learned that Edward H. Harriman in New York was buying up shares of the Northern Pacific Railroad, trying to wrest control of the company from Hill. Hill ordered all trains to give right-of-way to his express train and headed east to New York, making the 1,800-mile trip from Seattle to St. Paul in 45 hours and 50 minutes, 21 hours under the average time. From there, Hill continued to New York and thwarted the deal. During the buying frenzy, Northern Pacific shares rose from $100 to a peak of $1,000 a share on May 9th. He was a rich. He did pretty well, James J. Hill.
How could he put himself in a place, and this might be a question for Gabe, where he could be bought out like that? Wouldn't he want to retain at least 52%?
We don't know. We don't know the answer to that, do we?
Does Gabe, do you know the answer?
No, I don't.
No, he doesn't. No, we don't know the answer.
Gabe, do you know how to fake the answer? Didn't you learn anything growing up with
just
Matthew?
Like the moon the other week?
Yes.
Not rotate.
Gabe, what you have to learn is follow in your dad's footsteps.
Yeah.
No matter what pitch is coming your way, you take a swing at it.
Just make some bullshit up, Gabe.
On this day,
April 16th.
in 1917, the Minnesota Commission of Public Safety was formed by the legislature to protect life and property and to aid in the prosecution of the war. Seeking to achieve 100% patriotism, the commission used its sweeping powers to harass non-English-speaking immigrants and members of the Nonpartisan League. So we were a bunch of racist, no-good people back then, I guess. On this day,
April 16.
in 1927, the Mesaba Railway Coach Company stopped providing a streetcar service between the towns of Hibbing and Gilbert. On this day,
April 16.
in 1991, Marge Anderson became chief executive of the Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe. She emphasized traditional government, education, and cultural preservation. Anderson was a leader in the successful 9-year battle to preserve rights granted by an 1837 treaty to hunt and fish in and around Lake Mille Lacs. On this day in sports disappointment history.
Joe, who did we lose to on April 16th?
On this day in 1963, it must have been on the occasion of its opening, Totten P. Heffelfinger called Hazeltine the Augusta of the North.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You ever played?
I have. On this day,
April 16.
in 1970, the North Stars lost to the Blues in the quarterfinals, 4-2. The Blues were a natural, longtime rival of the North Stars. On this day,
April 16.
in 1972, the North Stars lost to the Blues in the quarterfinals, 4-3. See, they were a traditional rival there.
Got that.
On this day,
April 16th, Joe.
in 1981, the U of M Board of Regents voted 10-1 to move Gopher football off campus to that dump, the Metrodome. What a sad day that was.
Walk me through that, because they did try to update Memorial, correct?
Well, they tore down a stadium built to memorialize the veterans of World War I and the dead of World War I, and they ended up going to that dump. What a mistake. On this day,
April 16th.
in 1990, there's a pattern here.
We lost to the Blues.
The North Stars lost to the Blackhawks in the division semifinals, 4-3. Thank you so much, GLers.
Yes, thank you. And please, if you have not done so already, you know what you should do today? You should join the thousands of GLers, 20,000 plus right now, to be honest with you, and watch the show each and every single day on YouTube by hitting the subscribe button. That's right. you can watch Garage Logic every single day starting right around noon. And on that channel, you can see all sorts of video segments, video shorts, behind-the-scenes footage. A ton of content is available for you. Just search Garage Logic on YouTube, along with all of our social media channels. That includes Facebook, Instagram, and X. And you can also sign up for the Daily Logician. That's an email that comes right to your inbox each and every single day, and it includes the most recent episode of the podcast. Find out more and sign up today online at Garage
Julie
Logic.
Lucas joining us tomorrow, Executive Director of Minnesota Mining.